The quality of content for the past fortnight has just been sensational. So I'll go through them here, and I've linked to them below as well for anyone interested in reading them fully. This one from Meltem about building market microstructure for NFTs. Meltem has been in the crypto space since I reckon 2015 or 16. She has a background in traditional finance as well. I'm pretty sure she used to be more involved with commodities, as my memory serves correct. And so who better to kind of talk about how the NFT market can mature and what's currently making the NFT market very inefficient. So she goes through and breaks it down just extremely well. I always love reading her blog posts. She goes through essentially and just explains why market inefficiency is, what is it, why is it bad, and she explains how the microstructure of the NFT market can improve, and she goes through different areas of, I guess, a market structure and gives examples of how they can be improved. So for anyone who's probably more has a financial mind, this will definitely really be up your alley. And also just gives you an idea of where the NFT market is going as well, because we have seen a lot of innovations start to come out at this intersection of NFTs and DeFi, which I'll get into soon. There's a very, I guess, complementary blog post, which I'll get into soon, which very pairs well with this one. So some very, very quality work there from Meltem. Next one also is a great one from Nansen, Louisa there. She goes through, in the first half of 2022, there's been about 2.7 billion USD worth of tokens deposited into NFT mints, or I guess when an NFT project announces or launches their first collection, $2.7 billion worldwide, which just blows my mind, went into those. She breaks down, and the team at Nansen break down where has all that money gone. And I think there's some conclusions up the top, which you can read there. Roughly half of it just stayed with the projects themselves. Hopefully a lot of them were able to convert it for at least stable coins, because otherwise those projects will have just about no money left. 45.7% of that ETH went to non-entity wallets. So probably things like exchanges and whatnot. But this is very in-depth. So yeah, again, it just goes over different blockchains, what teams or what projects raise the most in terms of ETH. And yeah, just very, very comprehensive stuff if you're thinking about how much money some of these teams have and where it all went. So I won't have time to really dive deep into this, as you can see how long it is, but again, another one I wanted to share with you. Going over here, the next phase of NFTs, this author here does a blog post on I guess the wallet side of it, how NFTs can become more, I guess, data driven. So that is what they are arguing will be the next trend in NFTs. And I suppose the big connotations of that is how much, if your wallet data can incorporate with NFTs a lot more closely and strongly, that will have really big benefits for Web3 identity and Web3 social, which those two things kind of pair together and are pretty complementary. So this author here, what I love about it is they give examples throughout about how NFTs are starting to, I guess, get more sophisticated in terms of how they're leveraging someone's identity and their on-chain history in order to, I guess, come out with some sort of social graph sort of thing, which I guess, just would enrichen the experience of like using social media, a Web3 based social media. So if you're interested in that, I've also linked that below. Next one here is the one I was talking about earlier, which I think complements Meltem's blog post really well. This is a report. It's actually from the middle of July by Galaxy Digital, their research arm. So they've done a deep dive report, 23 pages on just the convergence of DeFi and NFTs. So they break down some of the projects that are kind of leading this emerging, I guess, vertical within the space. They also break down, I guess, what are some of the headwinds and challenges that are still remaining for the cross between DeFi and NFTs at the moment. I think liquidity is obviously a huge one there. So, and they've got a really good market map here of just how far the DeFi NFT space has come. 6 months ago, this mind map or this map would have been far less names involved. So some really good work, and you can, I very much encourage you to read this in after reading Meltem's if you do have some time. I've also linked here, one of the co-authors has done a 16 tweet thread or 16 part thread, just again summarizing the NFT, summarizing their report if you didn't really want to have time to go through the whole report. Last one for the past fortnight was Steve here from Degen Network, and this is just a thread, 14 tweets that he puts it down to. There's been 3 eras of NFTs so far: the punks era, Top Shot era from last year, and then the PFP era, which was kind of, I guess, ignited by Bored Apes. And he argues that the next era is business, so the business era. So it's kind of the second half of the thread there goes into things such as ticketing, which we discussed before, as well as other NFT use cases such as real estate or car ownership. Here he talks about medical records, which it makes sense, but it's probably, in my opinion, still very, very far off. But it is encouraging. Even university or like credentials, sort of certification, revenue sharing here. So similar to the one about wallets, I love that they include some examples here. So it just really gets your mind ticking about what's ahead for NFTs.